After 2 stages, your GC leader, Allison Powers.
After 2 stages of the pro women at the 8th annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove, Bob, the top 3 on GC separated by just 1/10 of a second.
1/10 of a second. It's an unbelievable battle. The time bonus has made a big difference.
Absolutely.
Out on the race course and at the finish line. Allison Powers getting a single second on the first time bonus sprint to retain the leader's jersey. She's 8/100ths of a second ahead of Shelley Olds, who's in second, and third place just 1/10 behind Joelle Newmanville. 3 teams also represented now on the top of the leaderboard, and then Tibco, and then Optum. Tomorrow, 19 total seconds up for grabs still, and 3 riders on the same 10th of a second. It's going to be a great final day of racing.
Absolutely. There's a lot of time, and there's only a 10th of a second separating these 3 women. We can't wait to see how it all turns out. Stay with us. We'll have stage 3 right after this. The Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove is brought to you by ComEd, by AXA Equitable, Woodfield Chicago Northwest Convention Bureau, Comcast, and Prologis. It's the final day of the 8th annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove Women's Pro Race. And Bob, it couldn't be tighter.
It could not be any tighter. I've never seen 3 riders separated by just 1/10 of 1 second. It's going to be an exciting race. There's still 19 seconds in time bonuses up for grabs, and 3 riders led by Allison Powers from Team Now Novartis. Second place, Shelley Olds, a very fast sprinter, and Joelle Newmanville from the Optum squad also in there in the mix. It's going to be a great race. 3 riders, 3 different teams, a lot of tactics in play, everything to race for on the last stage of the Tour of Elk Grove this year.
Absolutely. There's 19 seconds up for grabs, and it's a circuit course today.
Yeah, let's take a look at what the riders will be facing in the final stage of the Tour of Elk Grove this year.
As we wait for the starting gun for the final day of circuit racing at the Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove, let's review the Stage 3 course. Yesterday's circuit course was a near replica of the time trial route. Today's circuit course is different. Each lap today is 6.3 miles, and the women will ride 7 laps for a total of 44.1 miles. Today's course will have 2 jogs into Elk Grove Village neighborhoods. It not only changes the scenery, but gives the riders more turns to negotiate. There are 17 turns today, including 2 180-degree turns on Tawney Road. When the women dip into the Brantwood Avenue neighborhood, there'll be a slight up and down grade. This makes for a slightly greater elevation change than in yesterday's race, 91 feet compared to yesterday's 39. But it's still considered a flat course, and these changes are likely to be minimally perceptible to the women. The women will get back onto Elk Grove Boulevard on the backstretch of the start-finish line. They'll head to the familiar Tawney Road, which has been featured in every women's pro race this weekend. This is where they'll meet the 2 180-degree turns in a long, desolate stretch through an industrial area. There will be a feed zone on Tawney, which will serve riders in the mid-race laps. The right turn back onto Elk Grove Boulevard means the end of the lap is imminent. The crowd at the finish line will grow larger as the race goes on, and with the exciting battle emerging, it will be a thrilling finish. The third and final stage of the Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove is underway. And at this moment, the race to win the overall weekend GC championship could not be any tighter. The top 3 riders are separated by 1/10 of a second. Now in Novartis' Cycling's Allison Powers wears the yellow jersey for the second time this weekend. But Tibco's Shelley Olds and Optum's Joelle Newmanville are just a gnat's eyelash behind. Yesterday, we saw these ladies fighting hard during the bonus point laps, and that could be part of the strategy for today, too. Another team tactic is to load up the front of the race with domestiques, whose job it is to grab as many bonus points as possible. While the points are of no personal advantage, it keeps the other contenders from nabbing them and catapulting into the GC lead. The bell will ring each lap of this race. 3 will announce bonus sprint laps. 3 will announce cash preems for the first rider across the start-finish line for that lap. look for someone among the non-contending riders to dash for the cash. The other race to watch today is the competition for the overall points in the 7-race NRC Series. The pro women have collected points towards this championship in each race this weekend. There are 2 women with a chance to win it all. Germany's Claudia Hausler came into the weekend with the NRC points lead, but she hasn't managed to gain any points this weekend. She still has the points lead today, but just barely. Allison Powers is within striking distance, and it will be statistically difficult for Hausler to hang on. For more on this weekend's title sponsor, the Alexian Brothers Health System, here's Todd Bastide.
Cycling is a challenging sport, and finding sponsorship in today's economic environment can be a challenge as well. That's why the ongoing commitment of the Alexian Brothers Medical Center is so crucial to the success of this event. We've jumped down the road just a little bit, and we're in front of the medical center on their beautiful campus right here in Elk Grove. Now, the Alexian Brothers themselves date back to the 12th century, and it was during the 14th century, when Black Death was ravaging Europe, that they established themselves firmly as healers of the sick. Over their 800-year history, collaboration has been one of the keys through which they bring help and healing to a hurting world. And it's collaboration with such things as a bike race that typify their current commitment to celebrating and promoting healthy lifestyles. Now, the Tour of Elk Grove is in its 8th year, and that's no small feat. But when you consider that the Alexian Brothers have been helping people for 800 years, it's no surprise they are such a fantastic partner to this event. Our thanks to the Alexian Brothers and the Alexian Brothers Medical Center.
We're at the end of the first sprint lap, which could determine a new leader. It's Olds across the line first with 3 points, followed by her teammate Joanne Kizanowski. Joanne is playing bonus keep away from Joelle Nomainville, who takes the final sprint point. This is looking like deja vu all over again, as these same 3 ladies contested most of Saturday's sprints. This also vaults Shelley Olds into being the hunted instead of the hunter as the virtual leader on the course. Nomainville has jumped into second, with Allison Powers bumped back to third. Powers is a strong endurance rider, but sprinting all out isn't her main strength. She could be focusing more on winning the NRC points than the Tour of Elk Grove GC. The yellow jersey of Powers is tucked into the peloton. The pace is slowing. We're at the halfway point of the race, in the middle of lap 4. It looks like teams are starting to become tactical. The wind is also picking up, which could create a difficult crosswind on the unprotected Tawny Road. Coming to the finish of the second of the bonus points laps, it's Nomainville taking 3 points, followed by Olds and Kizanowski. Olds is still the virtual GC leader, but Nomainville is just 1 point behind. And Apow and her team are struggling to control these sprints. Each team spends a significant amount in prepping for these events, with team meetings just before the race. We asked Optum team manager Rachel Heel what went on in their pre-race meeting.
Just talk to your people about the strategy. Joelle is tied with 2 other very, very capable athletes. What have you told your team about what today's about?
I mean, today is all about the intermediates and the final sprint. You know, obviously for the last few races, this race has come, the overall has come down to the time bonuses. You know, it's a little bit of a different race to some of the other stage races we do, because so much depends on the time bonuses. The race can change completely. You know, it has done for the team the last 2 years, and it's worked in our favour, and we're hoping it does again today.
Well, you're kind of the professor of this, so to speak, because in 2011, it was Leah Kirchman. Last year, it was Jade, and now Joelle. You seem to have a lot of bullets in your gun that you can work with to execute the strategy.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a great position, and having the previous 2 years' winners as part of the team, part of the support for Joelle is an amazing position to be in.
So you've got a couple of people on the road who can function as kind of captains and choreograph things.
Yeah, they know how it's done. They've been in the position before, so having that extra experience, I think, really helps us.
What has to happen in the first sprint for Optum?
It's not all down to any one sprint. You know, I mean, the way the time bonuses are set, it could all come down to the finish sprint once again. So yeah, obviously we'd like to win the first sprint, but there's all to play for all the way through the race.
Dream scenario for you.
We win the race.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
At the circuit's halfway point, we see Optum's Andrew Gaffney going backwards away from the breakaway. She's been called back to the peloton to help her team. The peloton is now 41 seconds back and quickly eating up the differential. This is a points bonus lap. Can any of the contenders work their way up for more points? They can't. These points go to Robin Farina of Now and Novartis, Miller of Tibco, and Patton of Novo Nordisk. Before the stage, Shelley Olds talked to us about her perfect plan for today.
So Shelley, today is all about sprinting. What's the job of you and your Tibco team?
The job is to get me to the line first and try to, give me the best opportunity with we have to do everything right today. And so I'm going to need the whole team to do that, to sprint today against Optum.
So if you're not taking points early, does that put a lot of pressure on you to win?
Absolutely. But the race is definitely not over until the last sprint, because there's 9 seconds to gain in the intermediate sprints and 10 in the last one. So, and anything can happen in the last sprint. You don't know, maybe people that aren't going for the bonus sprints are going for the final sprint only. So we don't know, but it doesn't end until it's over.
And who are you marking?
I'll be marking Joelle Newmanville from Optum and Allison Powers from Now.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
The peloton is still 35 seconds behind the breakaway, so they'll have to accelerate their chase to catch the break. That's very possible to do with 6 miles to go, but they must start now. Amanda Miller is still in the breakaway, and if she wins this race, she could vault over the others and stand on the final podium. The breakaway group is desperately working together, but the peloton is now just 9 ticks behind. There's blood in the water. The 6-member Optum team is driving the field with 2012 GC winner Jade Wilcoxon on the front. Now, 9 minutes into the lap, the field is Grupo Compacto. They're all together with 7 minutes of racing remaining. It's another field sprint to the finish, and Australian crit champ Kimberly Wells is in the mix. We've not seen much of her all weekend. She's been sitting in, conserving energy for this moment, and she's contesting the win. She does it! Fearless Femmes Kimberly Welch wins today's stage, followed by Shelley Olds, Joelle Newmainville, Lindsay Baer, and Allison Powers. Allison Powers gets enough points to win the NRC season title, with Claudia Hausler in second, Shelley Olds third.
Champions platter for 2013, your champion, Allison Powers!
Shelley Olds scored 11 extra points in this race, securing her lead as the GC champ for the 2013 Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove. Joelle Newmainville is 3 seconds behind in second, and Allison Powers, or APOW, hangs on to the third podium spot. Amanda Miller is fourth. Robin Farina is fifth.
So Shelley, yellow flowers, yellow jersey, and a big smile.
Yes, very happy. This was the goal of the team, to win the tour today, and we pulled it off with the whole team, so we're very happy.
Indeed you did, and it took all 3 stages in which to do it, and a lot of sprint and bonus points and end of stage points. It's amazing.
I think the team rode really smart today. In the last sprint, right before the finish, we had one girl in the front who was dangerous. She was 4th in GC, so her being in the front meant we didn't have to work. I was able to sit out the last sprint, and it gave me fresh legs for the final sprint. So it was really important. The team did everything right today.
Well, when it all goes right, this is what you get. Congratulations from the Tour of Elk Grove.
Thank you very much.
Tour of Elk Grove. Ladies and gentlemen, your GC podium for 2013.
It's a wrap from the 8th annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove Pro Women's Race. Bob, we just awarded 2 championship jerseys. Your thoughts?
Thrilling day of racing for both the NRC title, which was won by Allison Powers from Team Now and Novartis, and the Tour of Elk Grove, taken out by Shelley Olds, the sprinter from the Tibco squad, right down to the last sprint. Great win by Shelley Olds.
Absolutely great racing. We'll see him again next year. For Bob Roll, I'm Greg Bliss saying so long, everybody.